what we are doing here, that we want to generate stiffness coefficients that can be generated only after applying the unit load one at a time. Okay, so if A1 is equal to 1, A2 is equal to 0. The second diagram which I am showing here, how many stiffness coefficients generated? Oh, what I was discussing is you can have kinematic variables as many as you can, and as many as flexibility coefficients you can generate. That is up to you and that depends on the problem. But in this example, okay, I have defined only 2. जो यहाँ पे रोलर पे एक थर्ड काइनेमेटिक वेरिएबल है वो नहीं है एग्जांपल में, it is not given, so I have not included. So if I give you something else, some other example which has well defined kinematic variables, then you should include it. If nothing is given, then you should assume okay there is a kinematic value. So what I mean to say here, there will be, suppose यहाँ पे F11 F21, there will be F31 also, there can be F31 also here. Because of this translation, because of this load, the translation will happen here as well. And because of A2, some other load, there will be translation here as well. And that coefficient I can call F31. But that, as I told you, I have not included here. So this is the example where kinematic, there are 2 kinematic variables. And that's why if 2 kinematic variables, your size, there is a correlation, your size of the stiffness or flexibility matrix depends on the number of kinematic variable. So here in earlier case, suppose we were having 3, D1, D2, D3. So you can see the kinematic variable D1, D2, D3. What is the size of the stiffness matrix? If you write it in a matrix form, it will be S11, S12, S13, S21, S22, S23, S31, S32, S33. So there is always a correlation between the kinematic variable and the size of the stiffness matrix. Similarly, here also you can see the earlier example. Here also you can see, look at the equation, 3 equations. And if you write it in a matrix form, you will get the flexibility matrix, and which is 3 by 3. Now 3 by 3 by 3, that defines the number, the size 3 is actually A1, A2, A3 or D1, D2, D3. It relates with your kinematic variables or it relates with your unknown forces, something like that. So there is always a relation with the size of the matrix and number of kinematic variable. So here also what I mean to say, suppose मैंने यही joint I have included as a kinematic variable. There are 2 kinematic variables, one horizontal, vertical translation. My size of the stiffness matrix will be 2 by 2. So I need to have 4 stiffness flexibility coefficient. That is F11, F12, F21 and F2. And those are shown here. Look at this diagram. When I am applying unit load, how many flexibility coefficients are generated? F11 is what? Again, at same place, both loadings are applying. So on my own, I have to define the number that, okay, horizontal displacement is 1 and I'm calling vertical deflection as 2. That is my own numbering I have to do, because there is one location, 2 loadings. It is not 2 different location and 2 different loading. Then number would be very easy. But here at the same place, I have to assign 2 numbers. One is for the horizontal displacement and another one is for the vertical deflection. So you can see here, F1 is related with horizontal translation because of the unit applied load, which is also horizontal. And that's why I'm writing F11. So what is 1? 1 is related with horizontal displacement. Second relates which load is unit, which number of the load is unit. Now F21. F21 is a vertical deflection. 2 is my own numbering, which is vertical deflection. And 1 is because of which unit load I have, which number of unit load I have applied, A1. So F21 is a vertical translation. Similarly, this second diagram you can check. Now A1 is equal to 0 and A2 is equal to 1. So F12 is one subscript says first says that it is a horizontal displacement. Second subscript says that it is because of the unit load A2 is equal to 1.
Ma'am, first initial is for position or like force.
Translation.
Translation. But ma'am,
Or force,
you have decide.
yes. No,
Ma'am, you have
translation.
written F11. You have written, so the first one is for position, and the second is due to the force A1.
No, it is because of position. But first position, here only one joint, na. So first position, second के लिए भी first position is that only. So how do you differentiate? So here I have to differentiate something like horizontal and vertical. So whatever displacement in horizontal, I call it 1. And whatever displacement in vertical, I will call it 2.
Okay.
That is the position of the deflection. You can say deflection because position is one only, no? See, it's the one joint.
Okay. The vertical and horizontal movement is being
Movement.
assigned 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Vertical and horizontal movement will be 2 and 1. So that's why here you can check in second diagram. F12 is horizontal movement. So 1 hai. But it is because of the unit load 2. And similarly, F22 is vertical 2 says it is a vertical movement because of unit load 2. Second subscript says about where I have applied unit load. Similarly, you can check in the previous example also what we have exactly done. See here 1 and 2. What is 1? 1 relates to translation vertical and 2 relates with the rotation. Whereas here in this case 1 relates with horizontal translation and 2 relates with the vertical movement. So that's how we don't have to mix up because here there is no possibility of making it different joint numbering. Don't give joint numbering because of loading numbering because that shows actually the second subscript. Or you can tell it, okay, whatever loading I am having in the horizontal direction, that is number 1. Or whatever loading I acting in vertical direction, that is number 2. So here also, you can define the same way. The numbering can be according to the loading number also. Okay, that is also allowed. If numbering 1, A1, vertical translation, then it is 1. And numbering 2, which is moment, it is my second numbering. So numbering is up to us how, but we should avoid doing mistakes and don't mix up things because here also no possibility of giving joint number. It is just 1 and 2, like loading 1 and 2. But it's better you define it according to the movement of the quantities, like translation, rotation, or the vertical and horizontal movement, like that. Okay, now I hope all of you have understood this flexibility, generating flexibility coefficients. Size of this flexibility matrix is F11, F12, F22, and F12, 2 by 2 matrix because there are only 2 kinematic variables. I mean, 2 static variable also, I can say something like that. So the last one is, this one is the truss. We want to generate the stiffness coefficient. Now, can someone explain? Now this will reflect your understanding whether you have understood things properly. So I want some student to discuss. Can someone discuss me what has happened when I want to generate the stiffness coefficients? What are we doing? In first case, this last diagram, third diagram. What should we do to generate stiffness coefficient? Can any student say me? What should we do to generate stiffness coefficient? This is the example I am discussing. I hope all of you can see the diagram.
Yes, ma'am. In the place of F11, it would be D11 for D1 and
Hmm.
wait a minute, and for F21 it will be D2.
No, no. See, don't mix up. Flexibility is different concept. Stiffness is different. Now, flexibility we have already generated by applying unit load A1 one by one. A1 is equal to 1 and A2 is equal to 1. Now, I want to generate the stiffness coefficient for the same truss. So, what's the go by definition? What should we do? See, we will allow that.
मैम जिस
बोलो.
लोकेशन पे फाइंड करना है उधर एक सपोर्ट डाल देंगे वर्चुअल, इसके रिएक्शन से डिस्प्लेसमेंट 1 हो.
हाँ, करेक्ट. सो पहले आप रिवर्स ऑर्डर में बोलो. पहले आप बोलो कि मुझे यूनिट डिस्प्लेसमेंट आई हैव अप्लाइड. See, what you are saying is, oh, you have introduced a support. That is fine. But first you say it is because of unit displacement. So reverse order में बोलना है. First I have applied unit displacement, and because of वो ऐसे ही तो unit displacement नहीं होता है. There should be some force. And I am not talking about A1, A2. Those are original forces, external forces. I am talking about artificially I am pulling that joint artificially. So that pulling is not because of A1, A2. That is something different, something artificial, that virtual. So I have introduced the force in vertical as well as horizontal. If I allow horizontal displacement. And so I have to introduce hinge support there. Then only I can get two forces. So that artificial support is hinge support, and that will generate, S11 and S21. Now horizontal को हमने 1 बोला है, so we are calling it S11, and vertical we are calling it 2. So I'm calling it S21. Because of unit displacement. Second subscript is about where I have applied unit displacement. Okay, so this diagram, last diagram, can again someone explain? The fifth diagram. Can someone explain? What are we doing?
Due to unit load displacement, madam, hinge support will act there. Whose we are taking upwards as A2, so there will be S22 in upwards direction. In X direction, there will be S12, S21, S12.
S12. Why 12? Horizontal force. And because of unit displacement 2, so S12.
And due to vertical force A2.
Yes, due to vertical, it will be called as S2.
S22.
Yes. So these are the stiffness coefficients because of unit. Only thing is you have to remember this designation. S12, 1 is related with horizontal force. Just like here, 1 in flexibility is horizontal displacement. Whereas here S1 is force, S2 is vertical force, S1 is horizontal force. And second subscript, you can easily put which joint I have translated. Vertical joint I have translated in vertical direction, D2. So that I am calling it unit. So this is how it is being generated. So again, the size of the stiffness matrix, you can see it is 2 by 2. S11, S12, S21, and S2. Okay, now we need to discuss the example that whatever we have been discussing things, it should be applied. And this exercise example I will send you during the weekend, because you can unless you practice it, it will help you actually in better understand. So there are examples. As I told you, I am following Weaver and Caribou. I'll be sharing the book also with you. And there are exercise examples given for every topic. So few topics which are important, I think I will give you exercise for that. And based on these discussions, I think you have to solve that and submit in the form of assignment. And also I request everyone to submit the assignment and take the assignment also seriously, because our evaluation policy, the examination, and if we at all we want to conduct online things, I will include your whatever hard work that you are doing throughout the semester. I will include that in the evaluation process also. So your assignment is always being evaluated, that you have to assume. So please do it seriously, that you are assuming that assignment has some evaluation. So do it, take it with interest, do it with interest, and it will help you in future also. So that is one part. And now we are going to discuss the simple, like we start with stiffness method. This is a simple beam, not simple beam. It is a prop cantilever. This is called as prop cantilever. And if support B is having roller support, it is, if it is free, we call it cantilever beam. But if free end of the cantilever beam is being supported, it is called as prop cantilever. So this is the original beam. Now we are thinking of applying the stiffness method in this simple beam. Now, whatever previously we have discussed is the concept for the larger, problems, and the same thing will be utilized when we solve the multi-span beam, multi-member trusses, and all those things. But I hope you are clear now about things, so that we can move ahead with discussing real, example. So this is an example. You can add some value also for the uniform loading. And I have shown the deflected profile. Now, how many kinematic variables in this beam? Kinematic degrees of indeterminates.
Four
No.
and two on the two at B and three at A. So five, I guess.
See, what you are calling is forces. Forces.
And the movement, like at B, it can move horizontally and vertically.
Vertically कैसे move होगा?
Oh, sorry, ma'am, not vertically.
See, I am asking kinematic degrees. Go by definition. What is kinematic degrees? Here the joints are well defined. Now we don't have to worry about the inside joint or
मैम
joints.
वो हो सकता है ए पे रोटेट करेगा और बी पे ट्रांसलेट.
ए पे रोटेट कैसे करेगा? ए तो फिक्स है.
फिक्स्ड तो मैम नहीं होगा.
खाली एक ही होगा, बी पे ट्रांसलेट करेगा.
कौन सा ट्रांसलेशन है? बी पे क्या क्या है आप बताओ. चलो अभी हॉरिजॉन्टल इज निग्लेक्टेड, देन यू टेल. Horizontal force, horizontal displacement, remove it. Then what is the situation? A पे displacement होगा या नहीं होगा?
नहीं होगा.
नो मैम.
Okay. A पे rotation होगा या दोनों नहीं होगा?
रोटेशन भी नहीं होगा. बी पे भी नहीं होगा मैडम.
बी पे
खाली रोटेशन होगा.
खाली rotation होगा. So now what is the kinematic degree?
1.
Only one. That is the rotation at B. The simple, only single kinematic degrees. Okay. So this is how you have to identify. हमने last time class में जो discuss किया था example. You can again go through it, because this is important. See, by looking at the example, now you tell me the kinematic degree of this. Let's say this example. How many kinematic variables here? Support A hinge है. Let's say this is ABC. ABC. Support A hinge. Okay. Then it will.
मैम 3.
3.
टू होगा.
One
दो पे
horizontal.
rotation.
Ma'am, if we consider
मैम
horizontal,
Horizontal neglect
एक
करो.
मैम फ्री, मैम एक फ्री एंड
Horizontal
है.
नहीं देंगे.
नहीं.
फ्री एंड.
One
फ्री
by
एंड पे
one.
मैम 2 होंगे.
Free end पे 2 होंगे. Yes. One is displacement, other one is rotation. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, roller पे क्या
And
होगा?
और रोलर
एक
पे मैम
rotation.
एक होगा.
एक रोटेशन
rotation.
हो. हाँ. और
Yes, ma'am, तो 3
और हिंज पे
एक हिंज
Rotation ही होगा.
पे भी रोटेशन नहीं.
हाँ.
हाँ हिंज पे भी हल्का सा
Rotation ही
रोटेशन
होगा,
है.
madam.
हिंज पे भी रोटेशन होता
तो-
है. हाँ. हिंज एंड
Yes,
रोलर
ma'am, तो
almost
4
act as a so total 4 degrees of freedom. Yeah. Now in this beam.
हिंज पे स्टार्टिंग में एक रोटेशन, फिर रोलर पे 2 रोटेशन.
2 कैसे हो गए रोलर पे?
मैम 2 डिफ्लेक्शन बता रहा, तो हम रोटेशन भी 2 एंगल काउंट होंगे कि एक ही होगा?
एक ही होगा ना. 2 अलग अलग रोटेशन होगा तो बीम तो स्प्लिट हो जाएगा पूरा. सी वो इंटीग्रेट होता है. वो मेंबर है, एक ही रोटेशन होना चाहिए. यस. सो 1 रोटेशन एंड देन
1 rotation. 3.
3. So total 3 rotations. So kinematic variables are 3 here. So we are considering only joints. But यहाँ पे जो example जो दिखाया है, that will be, I have defined different way, you know, D1, D2, D3 anywhere. So displacement, but in whatever problems that we are going to solve is for joint rotations and joint displacement. So problem is, statement is very clear. We don't have to calculate within the span. This is just because of physical interpretation of the stiffness coefficient. I have shown here. Okay, I have shown D1, D2, for concept, you know, just for physical interpretation. But actual problem where I want to determine is, I will be considering only at the joints. How many ye joint, ye joint, ye joint. How many number of variables? How many number of, you know, unknown rotations and unknown displacement. Okay. Now, same problem. Suppose I want to find out the static unknown forces. Then how many static degrees of indeterminacy? Neglect horizontal forces. How many are static forces? Unknown. How many? See, why you have forgotten static forces?
Equations considered would be 2, for one for moment and one for vertical.
Yes. Yes.
Forces 1, 2, 3. One static degree of indeterminacy will be 1 in figure 1.
1. Okay, very good. So there will be 2, one vertical and one reactive moment here, and 1 force here at roller. So 3 unknown forces and 2 equations. So static degree will be 1. So if you recall method of superposition, what we have done? Method of superposition in your theory of structure. How we have analyzed? What is the first step?
We will apply one by one load. First, we will apply external load only, and one force we will remove one force.
And apply it as a force. But very first step, you are missing one first step.
Make it statically determinate, ma'am.
Yes. We are making statically determinate. So statically determinate structure will be obtained by removing the supports. by removing the supports. Now, same analogy we want to follow here. When we apply stiffness method, the first step, okay, we have calculated how many kinematic degrees of indeterminacy. Now don't mix up, I am just comparing two things because the procedure is very similar. You can see the similarity in both the methods, but equal and opposite, sort of opposite thing, vice versa thing. So in that we have made structure statically determinate. So same analogy, while applying stiffness method, what we will do, you can you make structure kinematically determinate? We will do that. In stiffness method, the first step is you have to make the structure kinematically determinate. So what is the kinetic? Just now we have discussed the kinematic variable is theta b, just one rotation. To make structure kinematic, because in superposition what we do, we remove the excess support. हमने remove कर दिया तो statically determinate हो गया. जो भी excess forces से, we try to remove everything. Then we make structure statically determinate. Now जो भी वहाँ पे unknown forces है. Here we have unknown displacement or rotation. So here we have unknown rotation. So can we remove unknown rotation to make structure kinematically determinate? So to make structure kinematically determinate, we have to remove that rotation theta b. And what is that rotation theta b? You have to make it 0. So to make it 0, look at the next diagram. What are we doing? We have introduced, instead of roller, we have introduced fixed support at B. And this is the process where my structure is becoming kinematically determinate. See, two things different, applying in a different way. I am just bringing the concept of superposition so that you have the analogy. You know, it is analogous, both things. And in the last, we will also write one column where you will be able to differentiate between stiffness and flexibility method. This is the first thing, first step that we have to write down is in flexibility superposition method, we are making structure statically determinate, but in stiffness method, we are making structure kinematically determinate by removing the unknown rotations or by removing the unknown displacement. Removing means the 0 value. Removing means some no value, something. It does not exist. So no value means we can do only when instead of this roller support which initially rotates, I will introduce the fixed support which will prevent the rotation. So this second diagram, it shows which is a structure kinematically determinate structure. Now we follow the same process, like there is an external load. So we have included the external load. We analyze this beam. Now all of you know about fixed end moments, right? What is a fixed end moment? Can you calculate? Now we will focus only on this joint, you know, joint B. जो भी करना है हमें joint B पे करना है. Whatever things we want to do is at joint B. Forget about joint A, it is not of any help because our objective is to determine theta P. A का अभी कुछ काम नहीं है because I know already rotation is 0 in the original beam also. I don't have to do anything for it. I am worrying more about I want to determine theta B using stiffness method. And first step of the analysis is we want to make structure kinematically determinate. I have done that by introducing the fixed support here. Now all of you know when I introduce fixed support, there will be moment generated because there has to be reactive moment there. Without that, how can I introduce? Just to make theta 0, I have to fix it. You know, I have to fix it. If I fix, that means there will be, you know, force, there will be moment generated because I am talking about rotation. So I am talking about moment. When I talk about displacement, I'll talk about vertical force, vertical reactive force. So those examples we will consider later on, not now. What we are looking is the kinematic degree is rotation. Right now we are discussing that example. So there are variety of problems where we'll be discussing that part also. So what is MB is the moment generated because of the fixed end. Now, all of you have referred the table where while solving the slope deflection and moment distribution method, if uniformly distributed load is applied, then which moment is generated, fixed end moment will be generated. So I know that this is a fixed beam. So what I have to do is simply I have to go to the formula page that I will show you. Can all of you share, see these pages?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So in the book, backside, there will be formulas given. You can see here, check fixed end moments, action caused by the external load. You can also check the sign convention. They have shown anti-clockwise as positive. So MA and MB are anti-clockwise direction. Now, whatever moments they have shown, MA and MB here, the 6th point, we are more interested in right now UDL, and there are fixed beams. So these are ready-made formula, which you have also used it in the slope deflection and moment distribution method. It is there in Hibbeler's book and all other books also. At backside, you can see this kind of formula. So MA is equal to WL square by 12. MB will be in, actually, I think clockwise direction. So they have shown negative. So we can also write that way. So sign convention for single beam, I am not discussing. When we do multi-span beam, that time sign convention will be discussed more properly. But because just to introduce the concept of stiffness method, what is the first step? We have made structure kinematically determinate. And now we are going to make the structure. We are going to introduce the artificial support where rotation is made as 0. And then our objective is to generate there is the moment generated because of that, and that moment is nothing but the fixed end moment. So let us back to our original diagram where, okay, so MP is equal to reactive couple in the clockwise direction, WL square by 12. So here it is already shown in a clockwise direction. So I have not shown negative sign. So that table you have to refer always. I will share with you separately. Whenever we discuss the class, that time you have to keep in front of you that table always. And in addition to that, there is one or two more table which will be frequently used while solving the exam. Okay. Now second, this moment I have already written. Now all of you know that original beam there is no moment, reactive moment. So there must be one moment we have to apply in equal and opposite direction of this moment. This whatever MB is there, equal and opposite direction moment should be applied, and that's why I can define my criteria here of the original beam where actually there is a rotation happening. So in another part, it is the same thing. Whether you apply in opposite direction moment, there will be rotation, because here there is no rotation. So if we apply in a opposite direction moment in opposite direction, it will create rotation, and that satisfy my criteria of the original beam here. Now what is the difference? This is the second step, and just like in superposition method, what we are doing, first we have calculated moment because of the external load, and that I am calling fixed moment. And a very important terminology that now I am going to use is what kind of structure this will be called, which is made as kinematically determinate. This is called as restrained structure. Restrained. RESTRANED. Restrained structure. So this structure, whenever I say, what terminology we have used in earlier, in superposition? That forces we have removed, what is the name given?
Vertically determined.
हाँ, वहाँ पे हमने जो फोर्स निकाल दिए थे, उसका क्या नाम दिया था हमने?
Now redundant force.
Yes, very good, redundant forces. So here we are calling that structure was reduced structure, you know, redundant structure, because we have used the redundant forces. Two excess forces were removed. Those forces we were naming redundant. Now we are using another terminology called as restrained. Rather than redundant, we are calling restrained. So we have made this structure restrained, you know, then, and this is your restraint. Okay. So yes, someone was saying about there we use the terminology like reduced structure or redundant forces. So here we will call restraint structure, and whatever moments those produce, we call it restraint quantity. This MB WL square by 12 is a fixed moment. After converting your structure to make structure kinematically determinate, we call it restraint structure. Now, as I mentioned to you, if you look at the original beam, there is no, there is a rotation, there is no fixed moment here. So we have to apply equal and opposite of this moment in such a way that it produces a rotation. In another language, we can say to generate the stiffness, just now I have discussed, to generate the stiffness, we have to apply the unit rotation. We have to apply unit rotation here. That is our theta B. Actually, theta B times whatever the moment that we will see this. But what we are doing, because original structure, there is no rotation, there is rotation, there is no fixed moments. Rotation is not zero here. We apply equal and opposite direction of the moment. And you can see the difference, the diagram C. You can see the difference. We have removed the external load. We have removed the external load because external load is being already considered here in figure B. We have already included it. So next diagram, we have removed it. We applied this structure, we name it released. You know, this was the restraint. Now another terminology that you have to use is release structure. We are releasing this joint B. We have to release because in the original beam there is a rotation. So we have to release the fixed support. Restraint and release, both things we have to do step by step. So first restraint, this is released one, where we have applied equal amount of moment. In another language, this moment will be produced only when you allow the rotation, or when you allow the rotation, because allowing rotation was important for us, because in the original beam there is a rotation. So in vice versa, you know, you allow rotation, moment will be produced. If we allow, we apply equal and opposite moment, rotation will be produced, something like that. So rotation will be produced here, and that rotation, how we have to relate this moment and rotation equation. Now in slope deflection, we have already derived this when the far end is, you know, fixed. theta A is 0. This is nothing but the sort of slope deflection equation we have already seen, slightly the simplified version, but that also I would say you can refer it from the table. I can show you another table where okay, all of you can see this table.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so you can have a look at the third diagram where one end of the beam is fixed and moment MA is applied and other one is released, released where a rotation is applied. So if you release, there will be rotation. And you can see the relation between this theta and the moment is known to us. Now, whether I know value of MB or whether I know value of theta, that is a question. But our objective is to write the equation in such a way that I relate moment and rotation, which was not the case in earlier case. Earlier case, what has happened? All of you can see this diagram?
Yes.
Yes. So earlier case, what we have done? We have included this W, that is external load. So first of our moment relates the MB and W, external load. And second of our equation, this is the same diagram, you can correlate with that table. I will send you that table also. That diagram says there is no external load here. I have simply allowed the rotation. This joint is released and this is fixed. So this is a near end, and that A support is far end. This support is far end. This B is near end. So you know the near end, the relation between moment and the rotation. That is MB is equal to 4EI by L into theta B. This well-known equation, both the equation is known to us. Now, what they say is, now this is in counterclockwise direction. In that table also you can see this was in clockwise direction and this was in counterclockwise. The direction is shown already there. So you would simply have to refer the table by knowing to know the directions. Actually, this is in anti-clockwise direction. So whether anti-clockwise is positive or negative, that we will see afterwards. But you can see now this analyzing this original beam is equivalent to analyzing this first beam and then analyzing the second beam. So B and C are added, then I can get the original beam. That means to get the value of theta B, what I do, I simply equate you know, rotations produced by MB in figure C is equal to theta B, the unknown rotation given in the actual B. Now you compare this equation and 1 and 2, because this moment is just, it has to be equal and opposite, same. You know, this second moment in B, diagram B, has to be equal and opposite, which is the moment here in diagram C. So what we do is, by equating two equation, WL square by 12 is equal to 4EI by L into theta B, I can get the value of theta B, that is WL cube by 48 EI. And this is nothing but like stiffness method that we have applied to single span beam where only one kinematic variable is there. Now we have, I go on repeating that why this is called stiffness. The diagram C, this is called stiffness. This moment MB is called stiffness. You know, why stiffness? If I make theta B, value of theta B is equal to 1. You have also verified this when you are using in distribution factor or calculating moment distribution factor. Moment distribution method where theta B is equal to 1. I can define this is your stiffness of the, where I have allowed unit rotation. And I'm simply modifying my equation, slightly written in a different way. The same equation I'm writing, if the moment produced because of theta B is MB, then because of unit value, how much is the moment? That is MB times theta B. So that same MB which is applying in diagram C. The same moment which is acting in diagram C is the same moment is what is shown here, what I have shown here, small MB theta B. Because if total moment is MB in diagram, anti-clockwise diagram, in this diagram C, then if I apply unit rotation, then that moment will be MB, small MB times theta B, the total moment, you know, small MB. Theta B से अगर ये आता है capital MB, then unit load से small MB moment आता है. So because of unit load, if small MB, then because of theta B, how much? It is small MB times theta B. So that's why it is written here. And this capital MB, this moment is always is because of the external load, that is WL square by 12. And I'm writing this single equation. Now because we have one kinematic degrees of indeterminacy, you know, single variable, I have only one equation. So here stiffness matrices will not be generated. There will not be matrix. It is a single quantity matrix. So this small MB, you know, this is the stiffness coefficient which I have written is here 4 EI by L is the stiffness coefficient. And that is if I want to write in a matrix, it is a single quantity matrix, you can see. Because kinematic, I told you in the beginning also, kinematic degrees of indeterminacy is related with the size of the stiffness matrix. If kinematic degrees, here in this case only one, that is theta B, equation, there is no matrix, there is no 2 by 2, it is simply 1 by 1. So this is 1 by 1 matrix, simply one quantity. So 4 EI by L. And this equation is nothing but, what is this equation? MB plus small MB theta B. Or you can look at this equation also. What kind of equation is this? In another language, I would say it is a moment equilibrium equation at joint B. So we have used superposition. We are adding this moment. You can see plus sign here. We are adding this moment and we are adding this moment. So both the moments are added. So that if you are adding moments, it is called as moment equilibrium equation. Whereas in superposition, we have added deflections. So that is called as compatibility equation. So stiffness method, in flexibility method uses the compatibility equation for solving the equation. Whereas stiffness method opposite, you know, one is displacement. In stiffness method,